year is 2021 and New Masters Academy is still the absolute #1 best online art school on the planet. That's right, on the planet. Click the link down below for a free 7-day trial. Thank you, New Masters Academy. I am in your mind. I am in Hey everybody, welcome back to the Honey and Absinthe After Hours podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Vincent, a background designer for the Hollywood animation industry.
And I'm Janet, the ecstasy artist turned independent creator, and this is a podcast about all things art, business, and
whatever we feel like. Now today we're going to talk about, is social media ruining people's relationships?
But before we get started, make sure to like, jingle, touch all our bells and buttons. Help us feed the algorithm.
Please and thank you.
Thank you.
Now, Janet,
Yes.
I know it's barely May as of this recording, first week of May.
Yeah.
Summer has begun.
For Californians,
For
yes.
Californians, yes.
And yeah, we started.
Wait.
Oh.
I think. Does everybody looks like they've gotten a little bit more tan?
Hopefully.
Is everybody getting more sun? They look great.
You look great.
Don't they look great?
You look great.
You look really awesome. And I think you're going to have an awesome week.
Yes, the best week ever. The best week yet, because you're listening to this podcast.
Best week of the month. That's right.
The best week so far.
The best week so far. That's right.
Yeah.
Anyway, we, in the past 2 or 3 weeks, we've been to the beach 2 or 3 times, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're kind of addicted after being locked inside for a little over a year.
We took it really seriously yesterday. We went to, because it was Cinco de Mayo, we went to Dick's Sporting Goods and got some beach gear.
Yes.
And we went to Hermosa Beach. Just had a really good time.
Yeah. And the reason why we're talking about this topic today is because when we went to the beach, we noticed a few interesting people and things, and I feel like there are 2 types of people that are coming out of this lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
There is one who are very socially awkward but trying. Like we've been locked down for an entire year, and we desperately want to go outside and we want to mingle, but it's just
be with peoples.
You forget how to be with people.
How to be a person.
Yeah.
Among people.
And then there are another group of people who have gravitated towards social media and their phones, and they've been glued to it all lockdown, and they can't seem to stop. And yeah, we noticed a few, and we wanted to share our
stories.
Yeah.
Yesterday was Cinco de Mayo.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We went to Hermosa Beach, had some margaritas.
Mm-hmm.
It was really great. But the thirst in the air of young single people was palpable.
Yes.
Everybody was looking around, like really, really looking around. And it reminded me of when we went to Arizona in February. Back in February in Arizona, I think it was just as much or maybe even a little bit more open than it is here in California.
Yeah.
And we went to the mall in Arizona, and for the first time in a year, almost a year, we saw people in the mall just hanging out, and it was just a bunch of teenagers. We were trying to get, what were we trying to get? Oh, bath bombs.
Yeah.
We went on a little Valentine's Day vacation, but the kids, they were just looking at each other, staring at each other, trying to flirt with each other, and I felt like I was some sort of chaperone at a school dance. Man, it was intense.
It was.
And I think that's the result of being locked down for a whole year.
Yeah.
People really want some sort of social interaction, but it was like, you know, when you go to a school dance, the first hour, no one wants to talk to everybody. The wallflowers are glued.
Like, the
And-
dance has technically started,
Yeah.
but the dance floor is empty.
Empty,
Everyone's,
yeah.
like, on the perimeter.
That's what it was like
Yeah.
at the mall. So we went to the beach, and first of all, it was mostly people our age, you know,
Yeah.
on like the boardwalk and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And but it was the same type of energy, just older.
Yeah.
Just like people dressed up to the nines
Yeah.
on Cinco de Mayo, and getting down.
Yeah.
But then not as hard as they used to. It's like almost like they forgot how to mingle.
Yeah. So, since we're...
I don't know. We couldn't be imagining things, but I don't know. What do you think?
I don't think we were imagining things because we both saw it independently. Like, we didn't really talk about it at the beach. We were just trying to enjoy the beach.
Right.
But, like, as artists, we can't help but observe and judge everyone around us. And that's how we come up with characters in our movies and our TV shows
Yeah.
and our comics or whatever. Like, we're literally constantly internalizing everything around us that includes people. We just watch you like creepers, and we memorize what you do.
I, as an artist, find it fascinating.
Yeah.
Staring at people
Yeah.
like animals in a zoo.
Yeah.
I'm just fascinated by like, ooh, who's that person looking at? Oh, he's looking at that person. Ooh, I wonder why. I wonder.
Yeah. Concocting a story
yeah.
in your heads
And
about.
I just can't help myself from doing it too.
Yeah. So, yeah, the way they were behaving is very, like, before COVID, it would be, they're talking, they're, like, the male and female, the groups, they're, like,
Oh, they were close.
intermingling.
Yeah.
They all, like, do the normal dance that you do when you're having a conversation with someone and trying to flirt. But the groups are, like, separated. They're like in Arizona too. There'll be like the guys over here and the girls over here, just like a school dance, and then they're like eyeing each other. And it looks like some of them look like they came together, but they're still like separated for some reason. And it's just, I was like, man, you guys are like our age. you 20 people in their 20s, incapable of going to the bar.
Yeah. And doing the usual thing.
Yeah.
They're trying to meet people.
I think the lockdowns has really affected the way people behave now.
People forgot how to people.
Yeah. And I don't know, it's just, I guess when we explain everything that we observed at the beach when we went, it'll lead us into the topic of the podcast. But first, we need to paint a picture of what we saw at the beach, which was a whole lot of awkward social interactions. We are constantly judging you and
Staring.
like memorizing the weird things that you do because they make for great stories and characters in our worlds, in our
Right.
movies and TV shows and stuff. And yeah, there were a few different groups of people, different types of people. One that I really noticed that I thought was interesting was there was a group of guys and girls, men and women, because they were all kind of like our age, that were there, and they were like part of the same party, I guess, like they came together, but it reminded us a little bit of like teenagers at a school dance, because it was like the boys on one side and the girls on the other side.
Too afraid to talk to each other.
Yeah, like this dance has started, but no one's on the dance floor. And even though, like, you know, you have your date, you're too like scared to ask your date to dance.
Oh my God,
and I
dance?
don't want, yeah, I don't want to be
Wanna
the
dance
first
with me,
one.
baby?
And it was like that, except like with people our age.
Our age.
Yeah.
And it was odd to see, because I don't know, I felt like last time we went to a bar, people, you know, all over each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very comfortable with each other.
Yeah.
Trying to do the normal flirtatious conversation dance that we humans do.
Yeah. Yeah, we do look at people like it's National Geographic. But it was very odd. It's like the animals forgot how to mingle.
Yeah. Another group that I saw was like this group of men, boys. I don't know what to call them. I want to call them boys because it's kind of funny to call them men. But
they were just kind of huddled together in a little trio, like a Doug trio.
Yeah, actually, like in Pokemon, they were like together, and everyone was so clearly dressed like to be seen. They were dressed like the men were dressed nicely, and this is the beach. I'm not used to people dressing up for the beach. I was like, what? Why do you look like you all are gonna go clubbing? But these guys they're like dressed up, and no girls, but they made me so uncomfortable because they kept looking around. The whole time they were in line for food or whatever. They were like doing a weird like almost peacock display thing where like they're like, yeah, I'm cool, I'm at the beach, but then they're like occasionally like looking around. Like, girl,
look at me. Girl.
I thought that it was just like weird. It's like, this is odd. Why are people behaving this way? Did you notice anything?
There was a couple of ladies next to us who were just like, it was kind of cold, right? My nipples were really hard.
Oh, God, yeah.
And I was just wearing shorts and one of my t-shirts, and those ladies were just wearing skirt. Like just like, well, what do you call those one-piece skirts?
Dresses?
A dress. They were wearing one of those dresses, and I was like, damn, it's cold. How could you just be wearing a dress? And I know this isn't some of this stuff I know like is like, this existed like before the pandemic.
Yes.
But it's just like, I feel like it's been a little bit more heightened lately. Though the thing I observed was just like those ladies were really like out there to be seen.
Yeah.
They were sort of like the alternate dimension version of the three boys.
Yes. Yes.
Like they were just having, and like
just
they weren't
girls.
with any dudes.
No, yeah.
They were just like together, just, having fun taking selfies and like big fat margarita.
Yeah.
Big one of those big fat I got one of those big margaritas too, but it has like a thing of Red Bull in it. It's insane.
Yeah, not fun. Red Bull and alcohol.
Yeah, it was like a smack to the face. But I just noticed a lot of weird things about people. And the very first time we went to Hermosa, the first time in forever, we took a nap in the beach because as soon as we laid down on the sand on our beach towels, I was starting to listen to the sounds of the water. Mm-hmm. And we haven't been to the beach since the episode 2 of the podcast with Laguna and Venice.
The vlog, yeah.
Yeah, the vlog. Yeah, that's right, the vlog. And we haven't been to the beach since. So that was like almost a whole year. And to be able to hear the beach again was just so nice.
Yeah. That
I just started to doze off immediately when I just like starfish on the beach. But apparently when you were like, about to, you have a story here.
Yeah, so you dozed off, and I like sat down on the beach, and I just kind of like looked around. I don't know if other women do this too, but like let's say we're like having a picnic at the park, sitting out on the beach. Yeah. You want to take into consideration your surroundings just to make sure. Just
who's around me?
To remember, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a weird like danger thing, like whoever tries to steal my stuff, I know it's gonna be one of you.
Yeah, I think it's a monkey brain thing.
Or
like if the animals want to scan, like, are there any predators?
Yeah. Yeah. Before I, just pass out on the beach.
Yeah.
Someone like steals my wallet.
Yeah.
So I sat down and I looked around, being nosy. And I saw on our left side there were these girls that were also dressed to be seen, but not in clubbing attire, like in beach attire. And, you know, they're like, want to take photos. So the whole time we were there, they weren't going in the water. They weren't even just there to like pass out on the beach like we were. They were like taking turns taking photos of each other in the most like provocative poses.
I glanced over at them. I thought it was funny. Because they were like making kind of like a hoot and holler about it.
Yeah, they were making lots of noise.
Yeah.
Like they're like hyping each other up. They're like three of them. Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, do that with your booty or whatever. I don't know what they said. Yeah. But I was like, this whole time, like I thought, like, you know, you get your Instagram picture and then you put your phone away and then you like enjoy the beach. This is like hours, like the whole time. And I'm like, interesting. And then on our right side, there were like another group of girls a little further away. And there's this girl just like on her phone, like sitting on the beach on her phone. And I was like, oh, I didn't think anything of it at first. And then I pass out as well, because like when you have been stuck inside for like a year and a half, and then you get to go to the beach, and it's like warm and sunny and nice, you don't realize how much anxiety is on your mind from a day-to-day basis. It's just your average baseline. You sit on the beach and you're like, oh, they're disappearing. What I thought was baseline is like, oh no, I was stressed out. I am now
it's melting away.
Yeah. So I lay down and I passed out. And then I wake up. I don't know how much time has passed, but I get up. The girl is still in the same exact position on her phone. And this like hours have passed. Hours. And then I'm like, okay, I guess. Look over. The girls are still taking photos. And then you're still sleeping. And so I take out my sketchbook and I start like sketching a bunch of kids playing in the sand. I sketch out like a few poses, like an entire page. It takes me a while. I look around, they're doing the exact same thing. And I'm like, how is it that like I am enjoying my time so thoroughly on this beach, trying to get away from my phone, trying to like relax and to take all my anxieties away, and they can't put their phones down. They can't stop their social media-ing thing. And I lost my train of thought.
Well, it's like I think being in solitary confinement for a year with your phone has probably made a lot of people dependent on their phones.
Yeah. And I think like that was my main takeaway from our experience at the beach, as like relaxing as it was. We couldn't stop talking about how like people can't be normal because of this past year.
Yeah. I think of course it's going to get to normal one day, but if these are like the people who like couldn't take it anymore, these people really wanted to be out there, find a mate, have a good time, have a good night, that kind of thing. These are the brave souls who are just out there, and there are still people out there who are deathly afraid, and like I don't blame them. I'm sure they have like good reasons to be, but how long is it going to take for everybody to finally be on the same page again?
Yeah, probably
a while, and I can already tell the first instances are already kind of weird.
Yeah. And so it made me wonder, like, what did people do during lockdowns? What did they end up filling their time with? Because why are we so much better adjusted? Kind of, not by much.
Well, let's see. What did we do during the month of March to basically right now?
We worked.
Yeah, we worked. We started a YouTube channel.
Yes.
Right? So we have like almost 15K followers on that YouTube channel.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah. I picked up piano. Wrote a ton of music.
Yeah.
I've been taking a lot of music lessons.
Yeah.
You made like a little opening for our vlog. You've been regularly doing vlogs every other week or something like that. We made a podcast. That's pretty cool. Oh, what video games did I beat? Let's see. I prestiged in Modern Warfare. What else did I do? I didn't really play much video. I beat Tony Hawk. Pretty
did?
much. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Pretty
I didn't know that.
much as I could beat it. Yeah, the first game and the second game. And what video games did you play?
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing. You can't really beat that game.
Sekiro. Still working on it.
Yeah, halfway through. But Animal Crossing, you were able to make a really lovely, big little plaza place. See? Oh, we also have a home gym, so we've been working out at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hey, man, we've been doing a lot of stuff.
You
finished a ton of audiobooks.
I did.
You finished a lot of audiobooks, man.
I drew a lot. I made a whole business from home.
Oh, even at the beginning of Corona, you picked up guitar again, too.
Yes. And learned how to make music.
Oh, yeah. And then we learned how to make beats.
Yeah.
Hey, man, we did a lot of shit.
Yeah, so I think that's why we are healthy in the mind.
Healthy in the mind.
As much as we can be.
Yeah. But it's almost like we knew that in this time of distress, like we needed to do this.
Yeah, we needed to
occupy ourselves with.
Yeah, like transition well into lockdowns.
Yeah. You got into plants.
I did.
You got really got into plants.
And lots of plants.
Yeah.
But I think I realized that we're not normal.
No.
We are, like, this whole spiel we just did is super unrelatable because I think people...
Oh, I beat Doom Eternal, by the way. Sorry, continue.
I think people have been doing nothing, and I think they're not okay. And the reason why I think that is I was watching this video the other day, and you had a moment like this too, but I was watching this video and this girl was talking about what she did during lockdowns, and she was saying she dove into social media a lot more than normal. So she just was on her phone all day, every day. And she said it got really bad when she got those how much time you've been on your phone notifications that you don't love receiving from your phone. And it said she had spent 15 or more hours that day on her phone. Man. And she was like, wow, I didn't know I was spending that much time on my phone, especially because it drains her. Social media is draining. And I think a lot of people agree with that sentiment that social media is draining. But then what else are people do? I look around at people our age or younger. What are they doing? What have they been doing? And I realize I've been so busy. We've both been so busy. I didn't realize that they've just been slowly letting social media drive them insane.
I think so. I think I know the video talking about where she was talking about I just all I did was spend most of my time on the phone and with my brother and my mom, and I was craving social interaction. Yeah. And I was thinking man, how many people are feeling just the way you do? How many people are out there like that, who are just alone, or who have to work, let's say here in Hollywood, away from their families? It's crazy. And now that things are opening up, it's been hard for people to transition. And I think you said this really awesome thing when we were doing the show notes that we tried really hard, right? Yeah. To make sure we mask up 6 feet apart. All right. Now that we're reaching, home stretch of this awful period, we're starting to the last, I would hope the last phase is everyone's starting to get vaccinated. That's pretty cool. And and like everybody's been following, or at least like even us bitching and moaning most of the time.
Yes.
We've been at least following the rules.
Okay, fine.
Like, well, like fine, but I think there needs to be a just as strong, just as much of a concerted effort and just as much motivation to get us out there, trying to, hang out, have festivals, stimulate the economy, make love and babies, like really, get back to normal. Yeah. Developing relationships, seeing each other, visiting, all that stuff.
Yeah, because we had to really work hard in a way to transition into this lockdown. There are people who, don't like it. There are people who are perfectly fine with it. But, we all had some kind of transition. Like we figured out how to work from home. We dealt with this lockdown thing.
Lots of neat things have been happening. Like, I don't think, office culture is ever going to be a thing ever again.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of neat advances in technology now that we have to communicate with each other, through the internet.
Yeah. But I also seeing that, like, people are struggling just to exist with each other. And also, like, people not really wanting to exist with each other.
Yeah.
Like, just comfortable being on their phones forever.
Yeah.
Or even, like, those are the people who wanted to be outside. Like, what about all the people who stayed home?
Yeah.
And we're still just like, no. So, but we made an effort to transition to this period of our world, I guess. Now it's time to make an effort to try to get back to normalcy. Because it doesn't, to me, make sense to be locked in a state of fear. So I had a conversation with a close friend of mine recently, and I realized that she and a lot of people like her are really, really scared to go back to normal. But they want to. Like, I could tell, like, she craves social interaction, and she even said, like, it's hard for her to look people in the eyes again because she hasn't been outside for so long.
That's strange.
And
I look at you in the eyes every morning.
Yep.
Calms my soul.
Oh my gosh. And she realized that, like, I have been eating outdoors, whenever they let us. And then now that they've opened indoor dining, we do indoor dining. It's allowed, it's open.
Yeah.
And it's fine. Like, I didn't think anything of it. But, like, when I told her that, she was like, oh, I'm too scared. Like, I still haven't yet. And I was like, eaten outdoors? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like,
when you told me that, when you came back from your little hiking thing, and you told me that, I was like, what? How?
For an entire year? Yeah.
You ordered Postmates or cooked from home, or that's good. It's really good. But then you
outside for the whole year.
Treat yourself or something. Yeah. When there was like a period of time last year where things were open, where you could have like outdoor dining, kind of. You didn't do that.
Yeah.
Man, I was like so excited as soon as they let us out like that to go out there, man. Oh man.
And like I realized, like, oh man. So I guess there's three types of people. There are people who are like really scared to go outside still. Yeah. Like, you still haven't. And there are people who, the other people go outside. One don't really want to be with each other, and another wants desperately to be but can't. I have finished Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman, and I have to say it is a fantastic psychology book. It explains everything. Why I am the way I am, why you are the way you are, and how to not fall for weird traps in the media, in the world, and how to be more successful in your life. If you would like to listen to this psychology book, head over to audibletrial.com/the Honey and Absinthe podcast, where you will get a free trial. You'll get 1 free audiobook or 2 free Audible original audiobooks. That's 3 audiobooks in total. So that's audibletrial.com/the Honey and Absinthe podcast. I think being indoors on social media all day for an entire year is not good. I don't think it does good things to your mind, because it's fascinating to me to watch people who know that social media is a drain on their mental health and yet still spend so much time on it. I think that's really, really strange, because like this is something that I've noticed over, I want to say, the past year or so, because we started our like social media accounts a few years ago. But Instagram in particular, I never noticed anything too crazy, anything too mean, or like the emotion on the internet wasn't so like intense all the time back then. And that was just a few years ago. The minute quarantine started, I guess everyone just dove into the social media and phones and YouTube and everything. I noticed a huge increase in the amount of anger on the internet.
I think it's because people lived on the social medias.
Yeah.
When they were stuck at home.
Full of anxiety and stress, and they're not happy. Like, I think because people aren't happy at home, and they are like sad and angry, and
so they run off to social media.
Yeah, where they are sad and angry.
Yeah. Where they could express their sadness and anger.
Yeah. And I've noticed it a lot there in particular, as I guess like from the opposite perspective, as someone who contributes to your entertainment. You're welcome. But like I noticed on that end, in that like I know people are just meaner to people like me, being like just internet personalities. They're meaner, nastier, and like that's the reason why I am seeing a lot of people kind of take breaks, social media breaks, especially like the on the creator side. They
taking a mental health break.
Yeah. Stepping away from...
And that wasn't a thing.
Creating. No.
What, 5 years ago?
It was, but like now everyone is doing it all at the same time.
Right.
And I thought, I mean, I can certainly understand why. I feel it too. And it kind of sucks to be the world's punching bag, so to speak, like for your emotions that are like, why are you yelling at someone on the internet? Why shouldn't you have something better to do? That kind of thing. And like there's always going to be trolls, yes, but like this is something else. This is like, I see average, normal, everyday people just taking out their feelings on the internet. I guess the place I see it the most is Twitter, actually. And I really have been trying to get into Twitter lately. You guys should all follow me if you want to talk to me. I may or may not respond. I mostly just...
You should talk at Janet
on
her Twitter.
Please don't.
I want to see. Do your worst.
I'll probably just block you.
At Honey in Absinthe.
Yeah.
Because what? Because we couldn't fit the rest of and?
Yeah, right? Or something like that. Yeah. I don't know.
You couldn't fit.
But I recently have been using Twitter a whole lot more, and I noticed
mostly going, NFTs. So if you don't want to hear Janet tweet about
I guess
NFTs,
don't follow me. I guess, I don't know. But there are a lot of people, like the cycle happens literally every single week. People tweet and they're really like active at the beginning of the week. It's like they got all their gusto, And like, I'm gonna like promote myself. I'm gonna like tweet my art. I'm gonna like get a bunch of followers. I'm gonna
Go get it.
do
Go
it.
get it. Go get it. Go get it. Go get it.
Yes. And then slowly, and I feel this too. That's why I'm not the most consistent on Twitter. You start feeling lonely, ironically, shouting into the void and no one listening to you for the most part. And you start feeling lonely, and then you also start feeling FOMO. Like this, Twitter is like, I thought Instagram was bad with the FOMO. Twitter has a different kind of FOMO.
Explain.
They make you feel FOMO because it seems like everyone is succeeding or saying that they are succeeding, announcing to the world that they are, actually.
I'm so great.
Yeah, I'm so great. I'm winning at life. And then you see, I guess, their friends, because the way Twitter works, I don't get it. If you like something, all your followers see that you like it, so it makes them all insecure. Or it's, you know, like if you followed someone, sometimes you get notified that so and so followed someone. 3 of the same people you followed the same person. You go, oh, should I also?
Oh, I see.
Yeah. I'm like, all these people like this one tweet. Like, what?
Should I like the tweet?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Like, what's going on here? Why should I pay attention to this tweet? It does that. That's how it gets you to trigger the same thing as Instagram, which I think is really...
Why do you think the craziest of the crazies are on Twitter?
I think that's a good question. I don't know.
Because you're explaining something really specific to the app, which is like you get to just talk whatever bullshit you want. So if you're saying I'm so great, I'm so blah blah blah, first of all you lose the context of like human interaction, so you don't know you don't have a bullshit detector. So you just kind of take it for face value and you read the text and you're like, I guess this person must be successful.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you like it, and then another person who follows you is faced with the same dilemma. Mm-hmm. So that's really interesting. That's very specific to Twitter. Because in Instagram it's more of like visual insecurity.
Yeah, like, oh, look at how great their life is. They're in Greece or something. But on Twitter, it's more like it messes with your mind a little bit more because you're reading all these people like this.
Right.
This person has this great thing happen to them, and why would they lie on Twitter? But they could be. You just don't register it like as a potential lie. You register it just as truth. And it really creates this weird FOMO generator, especially like on all social media apps. I wonder if this will blow people's minds. On all social media apps, there are cliques.
Huh?
There are groups of people who are friends with each other that, in my opinion, are strategic friends to get bigger on the social media app that
I know. Yeah, like what they do in animation to get hired.
Yes.
Right.
What they do in high school to get
to get like, status or
hierarchy, that kind of thing.
Wait, class president.
Yes. But also just to like be popular or something. I don't know. Yes, like the more you're on these social media platforms, you'll start noticing these cliques a lot more, and like it exists across platforms. And if you think it's unfair, I guess that's life. And we have no friends, so I see this and I feel
I have friends.
Well, I don't have friends, so I see this and I go like, man, must be nice to have friends, people who like you, and it generates FOMO, especially I feel for the people who don't have a huge following yet on whatever social media platform, maybe any social media platform. If you're new to the internet, or at least growing a presence on the internet, it can feel really lonely. It can feel like, why is everyone succeeding and I'm not? Like, why does everyone care about this but not me? And like, I'm trying, but no one seems to like my stuff or to follow me or whatever. It feels really lonely, and Twitter is really good at inducing that.
I see.
Like, really good.
Yikes.
Because it's all about clicks. Because you can see who's liking what and who's following who and who's retweeting what, and it's the FOMO generator. But in particular with clicks.
It's all fake though.
Yes, but it's hard to, one, if you didn't know, it's all fake.
Oh.
But two...
Sorry, it's not fake. They're totally friends. They totally mean it, what they're saying.
Totally. But even if you do know it's fake, it's hard to not let that affect you. As like a man, they're all working together, a group of like, I don't know, 5 or 10 friends. They're all like helping each other. Why don't I have anyone to help me? That kind of thing. I see it all the time. Like it exists on YouTube. So you see
like hype houses.
Yeah, hype houses for like TikTokers.
Right.
And then YouTubers, they have like collaborations with each other all the time. And it's always the same group of people collaborating with each other once they
just sharing followers.
Yeah.
I'm like a follower, washing machine.
Yes. And you definitely see it on Instagram, which it's actually a lot more hidden on Instagram. Who are like...
Oh, they meet face to face. They meet face to face.
Yeah.
In Instagram, I think.
Well,
right?
kind of. But like let's say like the Instagram famous artists, they all kind of like help each other. They're all kind of like comment on each other's images every single time they post. It's like they're like on it, like when it's like a mutual benefit kind of thing of like, oh, if you're big, I'm big. If I comment on your thing, we look like a squad. If we seem like we're really good friends, and that makes people feel FOMO.
They're not really friends though.
No. So in every one of these situations,
that's how I know I love my life. I have like real friendships and people outside of art, and just like real people I hang out with, and I know all of this like Instagram relationship bullshit. It's all fake, and you guys are all lonely, and you cry into your pillows. Like I know, and it's not real.
Yeah.
I'd rather have what I have.
The problem
right.
is, well, yeah, of course. I have like next to no friends, and I'd rather have the few friends that I have than a lot of Instagram friends.
Like not real
No,
friends.
They'll turn on me on a dime.
Right. Would never be there for you at a hard
they'll
time.
hang me out to dry the minute I get canceled for like the 10th time. And it's none of it's real. But when you are trying to build a following on these platforms, even if you rationally know that, you still get affected by the weird FOMO generators. These apps, they're really good at like doing what they're supposed to do for themselves.
Yeah,
not
getting
for you.
humans to do the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not controlled by free will anymore,
No,
man.
we're controlled by
the algorithms. Yeah, free will.
But you can't help, and it's hard to step away when you're like, I know I need to just grind it out and like get to 1,000 followers, and then once I get to 1,000, you get to 2,000 and 10,000 and whatever.
And you finally have social proof.
Yes.
Some sort of social bargaining chip.
That's what you want, and that's what you're working really hard for. But so you can't help but you're on this app all the time, feeling the FOMO and like feeling really like left out and lonely and like bitter. I think you can easily turn into bitterness because it's like, man, f- those people. But you're also kind of like,
Me.
I want friends.
Me.
Once you've gotten enough FOMO, you finally feel really fatigued. Like by the end of the week, you feel really like, why am I doing this to myself? This is really annoying, and I'm getting bitter and annoying, and I need to take a break. I need to take a break because I don't feel so good. Like social media is exhausting. And I think that's what that girl meant by like feeling drained. Like you feel jealous, you feel always that like other people are succeeding and you're not, and you feel insecure, so many feelings, and you're just like, I just need to take a break. And Twitter is the one place that I see on a weekly basis people announcing that I'm going to take a break from Twitter because it's overwhelming. See you in a few days. And I also, because like Twitter's kind of the place where you would announce that. Because why would you announce that on any other app? But Twitter is like...
you're supposed to say what's on your mind.
Yeah, so what's on your mind is like, I don't want to be here. And so you're going to tweet that. And then it starts all over again on Monday. And I think this is really sad. Twitter is both a place that I find really interesting because let's say you wanted to talk to me. You have a pretty high chance of actually getting a response from me on Twitter if you tweet at me. But
I hate you. You're a spoiled
block. Not worth my time. So that's a good thing, kind of, that like, wow, you can kind of, it's a much more interactive people to people connection than any of these other apps. Because with YouTube, it feels very like a parasocial relationship here. Like, I don't know who you are, you don't know who I am, but you think you know who I am, but I have no idea who all 300 of you are.
But I see you. I can see you.
And then Instagram, it's also kind of like that. You get complimented and you go thank you, or you compliment other people and they go thank you. But Twitter, you can actually have a conversation with people potentially.
Yeah.
But rarely, like, it's mostly just people shouting into the void trying to get attention, and then feeling upset that they didn't get attention, taking a break, repeat. And I think it's where that's why the craziest people are on Twitter. The most loud, the most vocal, the most angry, the most depressed. Just people, like, Twitter is the new diary of humanity.
That's sad.
People don't keep diaries anymore. They have a Twitter. And when I open my Twitter, I can get a really good sense of just the mental state of the zeitgeist. Just where people are at in their minds.
And where are people at now, you think, this far in 2021, May 2021?
I think they desperately want to be okay. But they're scared to go outside still.
Right.
And the ones who dare, they are trying hard but failing miserably.
Because it's been a while.
Yeah.
Like with everything. Like
Yeah.
if you haven't drawn in years, then you're going to have to work really hard to get remotely back to where you've been. And same thing, I'm sure athletes have to train too. So I think your friend told you when you were hiking with her that she feels her social skills deteriorating.
Yes. She was like, it's hard for me to look people in the eyes again. And I was like, yeah, me too, kind of. I mean, it's always been kind of hard for me to look people in the eyes. When speaking to them, I just kind of look off to the side. Which another reason why I'm very bad at speaking to camera. I just want to look away.
I love looking into your eyes.
Oh, it makes me uncomfortable. Yeah, I get the sense that like she and a lot of other people are having a really hard time transitioning. And I think at the end of our conversation, because we went like hiking outdoors together, and her sharing all this stuff with me, I was like, oh.
Where did you go?
We went to, I don't remember, some park in
Pasadena. There are lots of people there.
Yeah.
People really want to go outside, it seems.
Lots of people.
Lots and lots of people.
Outside.
They're fed up with this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember her telling me like she's gonna try to eat outdoors for the first time in a year. And I was like,
I'm gonna muster up the courage or something.
Yeah,
like that.
something like that. And I was like, You poor soul. I was really sad for her that like she feels so scared and having such a hard time just adjusting back, but also desperately wanting to. Like she did share with me that like she wants to. It's just she's scared. And I really think people should like start having a pretty concerted effort trying to slowly transition back to normal according to guidelines.
Whatever your state says you can or can't do.
Yes. You know? I'm sorry, Canada.
Oh man. I saw this Lucid Pixel video called something about for everyone who needs to hear this, or I forgot something about empathizing for people who like who are stuck indoors and who like, you know, just can't take it anymore. And I was listening to it thinking like, man, where does this guy live? It sounds like it was like the way he's describing things and the way he's like reacting to everything. It sounds like the zeitgeist of November. Like that's like where people were like, oh, you're not allowed to do this or that.
Yeah.
And then like this was like we went to the beach recently.
Yeah.
And I was like, where does this guy live? And I was like, oh shit, this guy lives in Canada. And then like that video that came out recently with the priest.
Yeah.
I was like, get out, you Gestapo, get out. The police tried to shut down a mass that was going on in Canada.
I think during Good Friday.
Yeah.
Like that's
which is like,
okay.
If that happened in America, there would be hell to pay. But the fact that video was crazy. When I saw that and that, you know, everything was happening, I was like, holy shit, Canada, like the shit happening over there is something else.
I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, yeah, Justin Trudeau. You should just Justin Trudeau, more like no, I can't say this joke. It's so bad. I can feel the Canadians judging me. I was gonna say my joke was, you know, Justin Trudeau, you should Justin Trudeau, don't let your people down. I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't tell the joke.
Tell me how much that hurt your soul.
It was just so bad. It was so bad. I couldn't even tell it.
Your dad jokes are getting.
But you get it, right? So
dead.
Justin Trudeau instead of Justin Trudeau.
Nothing like explaining a joke.
I'm just making sure you didn't. Just making sure if you got it or not.
Yeah.
Do or don't.
Do.
Or don't.
Okay. But yeah, Canada, I'm sorry. All our Canadian listeners, I don't know how many of them are.
Come to America, we're freer.
A little bit. Not by much. A little bit. Sorry, this doesn't apply to you, though. I'm sorry.
Damn! Jesus Christ!
Follow the, you know, your guidelines. I'm sorry. But, you know, everyone else, you should probably go outside.
Yeah, man.
You know, enjoy.
It's good for you. Us humans weren't meant to be like this, you know? It's no good. It's no good. And it hurts my soul. I think, you know what I think about? I think about the kids, man. I think about the kids. How are they going to relate to each other? How are they going to understand, like, social cues and stuff?
And, like, how to date.
Yeah. That's already awkward and painful as it is.
Yeah.
You have the internet and the pandemic to have to, like, as these big obstacles. Like, how are these kids going to understand each other on a human level? I don't know. To be honest, I think they're doomed. One day
when they've gotten enough of enough outside experience going to the outside, I was thinking, like, how do we convince people who, you know, stayed inside on social media all day, angrily typing away on Twitter, yelling at people like me, that, like, maybe chill and go outside.
Oh man.
Who are, like, really scared to.
I don't know. I just think, like, the world's so beautiful. Every morning, right? We go out to, as much as we can, we go out on our little jogs and I barely exercise. And I look at like the mountains, and I look at the trees, and I look at the world, and I think about how beautiful it is. And then for however long it has to be, I sit down and I work in front of a computer most of the day.
Yeah.
You know, and I just think like I want to go outside.
Yeah.
And like I'm an artist, I have a high threshold for being alone. I'm able to occupy myself with my time, you know, with music or drawing or painting or whatever it is, video making. But at a certain point, even I need like social interaction with people, and to be outside and to feel the sun and to listen to the birds, like or whatever it is. Like I don't know how to encourage other people other than real life is so much more beautiful and amazing and interesting and such a amazing sensory experience compared to your phone or your computer screen and all these cowards on the internet who wouldn't dare say any of these things to your face, but because they have license to do so, because everyone's mostly anonymous, they get to do whatever they get to do.
Yeah.
And like you go outside, and I just think like all of these, you know, Instagram artists who have these relationships with people, the animation people who have relationships with people, the people on Twitter have relationships with people, with each other, just to get more followers and more social standing. At the end of the day, I go outside. I don't think anyone gives a shit.
No.
I don't think anyone cares. I think everyone's into enjoying life, especially the people who are out there right now. They're trying to figure it out, how to get a mate, how to find somebody, how to enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
You know?
I also think you like have an advantage if you are the first one to try to go back to normalcy, because there is something nice seeing people try and failing, and they will be the most okay in the mind when things do go back to normal, like completely back to normal. If anything, do it for yourself, for your own sanity, because you really truly don't understand how much being inside really affects you, even if you think it doesn't. Like, just I have a much higher threshold for being alone than you. I am perfectly fine being alone,
living in the mountains,
yes, and
with cats,
and like having people leave me alone. But sitting out there, I was like, this is a level of not being stressed I haven't felt in a while. A different kind of stress and anxiety of just being cooped up, I think, indoors. And for people like me, the way to incentivize people like me who are like, I don't know about going outside. I don't know. I'd rather stay on social media, grow my social media following, and angrily yell at someone. I would say, like, someone like me is, like, really goal-oriented. And I think the faster you're okay in the mind, the faster you will be ready to, like, kill it once everything opens up again. Like, I don't know how many of you are like just waiting for things to open up so you can go to conventions, sell your art, I don't know, find a job, date, I don't know. But all of those things, and even like I feel like a lot of people lose motivation and during lockdown on social media especially, is because they aren't getting rewarded for all the things that they do. And one of the things we learned very early on during the pandemic is it does feel a little hopeless trying to grow on social media, trying to start a business, trying to do anything as an artist during a pandemic, during an election year. Absolutely no one cares about you, about whatever art you're peddling right now, because there are so many other things to care about. So we understood it, but I also was like, I'm not gonna let the pandemic slow me down or stop me. I'm gonna keep going as best as I can. And no matter how badly the pandemic wants to mess up my mental well-being, I'm gonna do everything I can to stay normal. But I think a lot of other people are affected by the fact that, you know, pre-pandemic, growing on social media and growing on the internet in general is pretty easy for an artist or anything really, because people care. It's like an age of decadence. You have pretty good economy, you have people,
a good job.
Yeah, have a good job, you have people buying your art.
So everything's great.
Everything's great, but now people are like trying to save money, definitely not buying art, unless they're
using crypto.
Yeah, using crypto, and they're wealthy that way. They're not, and so like you're not getting rewarded. And I got this comment a while ago that I guess is kind of a hate comment. I don't know what they were trying to get out of me with this comment, but they're like, you have mediocre content. Like, as if I care. But your content is mediocre.
Your content is mediocre.
The only reason why anyone would watch is because the content, the art content on YouTube is on the floor right now.
And then when you told me that we got a comment like that, I was like, oh, how insightful.
Yeah.
Man, we've always assumed, you and I have always like, not getting nearly as much art content, especially the heat of the election. I was just barely getting art content at all. It's like people disappeared between the months of October through January. They were like, peace out.
People who are normally consistently posting videos and stuff like that, they didn't.
So, but I assume like, oh, maybe it's just my imagination, or maybe it's the algorithm. Maybe I'm just watching too much news, and my algorithm is going like, oh, he wants to just watch news. So I was like, oh, maybe it's not real. But it's so interesting getting a comment confirming everything I've always assumed.
Yeah, like I would notice that, but I wouldn't think anything of it, and I was like, I guess people are just taking a break. Maybe they feel like the temperature of the internet is too hot right now.
It's really hot. And you'd have to be a mad person to be on the internet publicly right now, I think.
And no one wants to post art and not have anyone praise you for it and see it, especially when you're so used to getting a certain amount of views. I feel like it's
discouraging.
Yeah, because everyone's on the internet 10,000 hours every day. I think the views, even though more people on the internet, are like spread over everyone a little bit more, and not everyone wants to watch news or whatever at the time. But I would never just assume that like people didn't have motivation. I just like I don't know, something weird is going on. But to have this person say that, I was like, man, you thought you were insulting me. I don't care if you think my content is mediocre or whatever. Don't watch. I don't know what to say. But you just shaded everyone else. Like, I didn't say that. You said that.
Hold that thought, I need to pee.
But I think it was a very interesting observation that people outside of you and me notice that, like, people had a hard time last year keeping up, and it is draining. Like, I think social media is draining, and for us though, now that we are now transitioning into hopefully normalcy, I really don't think this is a prediction now, I don't think that we will go back into another lockdown if things get worse. I don't think things are going to get worse. I think things are going to stay open, and a good sign to know that that is the case is to look at your favorite big corporations. They're all
the theme park's about to open again.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Give me all of your children.
Disney's open.
Finally.
Disneyland is open.
Finally. And like, man, I dare the state of California to tell them to lock down again this December. I dare them. I would grab all the popcorn. I would love to watch.
As you know, Disney is a very powerful corporation, probably more powerful than our government.
Yeah, closest thing to the most powerful mafia
Yes.
in the country.
And, you know, if they're opening, I really don't think they're going to want to lock down again.
Hell no.
And, you know, so a lot of things are theaters. There are like theater showings
The
now.
ones that are
around us.
left.
Yeah.
The ones that survive.
Like AMC's.
Yeah.
The
We're
AMC
planning on
one.
watching our next movie in
Hopefully.
theaters.
Yeah.
We have to do a bit of homework before we go, though.
But things are opening up, and it's, in my opinion, it's going to go back to a little bit the way it was pre-pandemic in terms of like the economy and a lot of the other stuff. And
I don't think it's going to surge again, though.
no, I think it'll just go slightly back to normal, a little bit more, hopefully a little bit more
maybe like
economic.
2015
Yeah.
ish.
Yeah.
In 2015, 2016.
Not great. Still
But
recuperating, but
not
you
the
know,
worst, hopefully.
trying.
We'll see.
And it's important to, like, if you want to be able to kill it, like in terms of like hustling, it's important to make sure your mind is okay first too, because like we have been benefiting, in my opinion, from not stopping this whole time during the pandemic, not stopping, and we're ready, as we're transitioning over to a little bit more of like a kinder internet. People are spending less time angry at home. Hopefully they have
People are going outside,
other things to do
going to the gyms or just exercising more.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I don't know, who knows.
as an outlet. I don't stay the punching bag for their emotions.
For too long.
Yeah. Then like that's why I feel like our channel is growing, and we're like we're doing pretty well, because
You think
we've
so?
consistently we've been posting and all that stuff. So like that's the benefit of like what's the word?
Being consistent.
That's the benefit of being consistent, and also
Tenacious. I don't know. What's this word that you're trying to look for?
Oh, that's a benefit of being the first to transition over to normalcy. Like to be able
I
to
see.
like be in a good mental state to like really work really hard again. Whereas like all these people who've dropped off or had a really hard time with the pandemic need to start transitioning back to, you know, normalcy, whatever that means for you, at least for your own sanity.
Yeah, nothing else to add to that. I would I was dying to go to the beach as soon as we were able to. I was dying to do all these things.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to go to the theater again. And sorry, I can't empathize with anyone who's like super scared to like go to a theater or go to the beach or whatever. I want to live.
Yeah. We need.
I want to live and make memories and enjoy, you know.
So, I mean, granted, this is Twitter, so take that with a grain of salt. I recently was followed by this person who isn't followed by anyone. It's like a nobody. True, like 22 followers, whatever. But because I don't have too many followers yet, and I'm not inundated with like notifications constantly like I am on like Instagram, let's say, I can kind of check who is following me and who they are and stuff like that. I check this person's Twitter page, and they are still just like really scared of I guess the pandemic, and treating it like you said, like it's fall of last year.
Yeah.
He was like angry that people are out and about without masks, and
They told us, by the way.
that it's okay.
Yeah.
Like they told us,
At least in California.
Yeah. And like you don't know if these people are vaccinated or not. Like, why are you judging? They could very well be vaccinated. Like, and the guidelines said if you are, then it's fine. So I was kind of like, does this guy not know? Or why is he still so like crazed about it? I don't know. I just thought it was crazy.
Yeah, I just think Like I said, I think it's going to take like a lot of people a few years
before normalcy.
Yeah.
They can accept normalcy. Normalcy will be here, whether or not they have transitioned. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
We are recommending Office Space
by Mike Judge.
We recently re-watched it. Wow. This is real life. This is too real. I watched it, I think, before getting hired.
Yeah, we watched it, I think,
years ago.
First year together. We went on a trip to Vegas, and we were just watching a ton of movies on the laptop. And that was one of the movies we watched. And I think I was barely hired, but I heard a lot of my coworkers talk about this movie and how life is like this movie. And I was like, oh, what do you mean? And then I watched it with you, but like we rewatched it again, and man, oh man, it's very, very relatable.
Yes. I think I liked the movie at the time. I really liked it, but now I have a newfound appreciation for the movie.
Painfully relatable.
That now that I'm older and I've worked in a corporate environment, it's so every joke is so like spot on, exactly like it was.
And the observations about work-life culture.
Mm-hmm.
And the observations about just the weird power brokership between employee and boss.
Yeah. It's so like if you've never worked in an office environment before, you might not relate, but if you have, oof, and you haven't watched this movie, you need to watch this movie. It's cathartic, I think, to watch and like cry laughing. Like it's sad, but it's hilarious.
Because you're watching your life.
Because yeah, you're like, oh, that's my life.
And it doesn't matter if you're at a legit, code inputting, boring cubicle job or your animation job. There's a lot of things, a lot of parallels, a lot of things.
Yeah.
A lot of things you can enjoy.
It's so painfully accurate that I wonder if Mike Judge was experiencing it, like, at the time.
I wonder.
It was just so accurate. So, if you like this podcast, make sure to like, jingle, touch all our bells and buttons and help us beat the algorithm. Head over to honeyandabsinthe.com to help support this channel by buying some merch. Check out these other episodes over here to binge the Honey and Absinthe podcast, and we will see you next time.